Hello there, welcome back to RJB TV, and today we're going to look at part number 2 of the Hamburger tournament finals between JH and Goltong Kong. The previous two matches, both players had pretty impressive Protoss against Terran performances, and they managed to get an equal score so far. Both players a single win. Now game number 3 usually decides the momentum. And for game number 3, we're looking at JH under the name Janus here on the Yellow Zerg on the 9 o'clock spawning location on the middle left of the map. And we have Goltong Kong under the name Vacuum here on the bottom right of the map. Protoss against Zerg. Oftentimes a matchup going in the favor of the Protoss, but honestly, if there's someone who can pull off the upset as the Zerg, it is most likely JH. He can be very tricky with his Zerg. He has very good timings or counterattacks that a Protoss oftentimes isn't expecting. But talk about things we aren't expecting. If there's a player who is unpredictable, it is Goltong Kong. I have no idea what this guy is going to do almost half the time. Oftentimes I have a feeling that he's going to do something because his build order looks, familiar. And I start thinking, maybe I might just know what this guy is up to, but then he just completely throws a curveball that I had no idea was even possible. Or was just so crazy that I didn't think anyone would ever do it. Alright, so we have basic build order coming out here for both players. Although, unlike usual, more like in the games we've seen so far from Goltong Kong, I'm gonna just call him Kong for short, it's way easier to pronounce. The games we've seen so far from Kong, he never really goes for a economy opening. We've never seen him start with an extra Nexus, and we've never even seen him start with double extra Nexus. Goes for a very heavy economy build order, right from the get-go. 2 Nexus, Forge Gateway, 2 Gas, and a Cyber Core also coming out very early. Cannons finishing up in the front just in time before the Zergling can stop them from coming up and before the other Zerglings can come to assist. He couldn't get into the base with the Zergling, so he's going to have to use his Overlord to get information. Maybe he's going to keep that Overlord there in the front, maybe he's going to send it further into the back. Usually players send it into the back, just so they can see everything in the base there, with the Overlord before Dragoons come out to kill the Overlord. Zerglings will be able to get in. Probe there finds JH's space. Notice how JH is only making a single sunken in his choke. He's not making any new sunkens. He's just gonna use this little time he has before Kong has any units whatsoever to get as many hatcheries as he can, get as many drones as he can, and to get as rich as he can, because he's going to need to use this small little time period of safety to his advantage. Making any sunkens in the front would, of course, cost him money, would cost him income. But that is why he's making so many drones, so many hatcheries so quick. So he got into the base. He hasn't really seen the Robo yet because it's just outside of the range of the Overlord. He didn't see the Robo, but he can assume that if he doesn't find the Robo here in the back, he's going to be there in the front. And that's why he's now sending his Overlord to the top side there to see the Stargate and the Robo. Kong built them there in the front because he's going to rally all of his units here to his choke. So it's very easy when you're making drops. Just make a shuttle, a Corsair, and you load them up. Very easy to do. So Zealots trying to sneak their way in, and actually one of them does make its way in. And one single Zealot might actually just cause some real trouble there in the base. Dragoon there to kill the Overlord to stop the vision, but also to deal some damage finally. The Zealot doesn't get a single drone kill, but at least JH was forced to pull his workers off the minerals for just a very short amount of time. Hydralisk then finishes up, so Hydralisks are on the way soon. He might make another wave of drones before he starts his Hydralisks. He gets his Hydralisk speed first though, because he has the gas for it. You might as well get it right away, because otherwise you have to wait for your range upgrade a little bit too long, and that's always detrimental to your development. Which will die first, the Dragoon or the Overlord? Yeah, it's gonna be the Overlord because Dragoon micro there happening just a tiny little bit But it's 2 Overlords down for JH so far. The drones can't get into the base, or they're just going to the north. Or this is like a misclick. This is a misclick. Alright. So 3 gas there in the back. It's a lot of gas because 36 drones at the moment. There's 46 for Gold Hong Kong. He's got a fleet beacon. And he's getting scout speed. He's going straight into scouts with reavers. Shuttle speed also on the way. This is interesting. This is interesting stuff, but will it work? Would it work? Now, the little bit of an advantage that Kong has here is the fact that JH is not expecting this. He's not expecting scouts and a reavers. He's expecting a drop, that's for sure. But alongside with scouts, they're coming in for some Overlord killing to be very annoying. Benefit of scouts over Corsairs is that if you have scout speed, you can micro them back and forth pretty quick and stay out of the Hydralisk range, whereas a Corsair has to basically become a static unit, where they're stuck on the spot to kill an Overlord. With a stack of scouts, you can volley and micro those Overlords down in very smooth and sweet movements. Never stuck on the spot. That is, of course, if you put effort into microing them. He's not putting effort into microing them. At the moment, he's mostly just being annoying. But JH is pretty rich. 43 drones, he's really used the advantage of the very slow attack from Kong to drone up as much as he could to get maybe not as many hatcheries as he could, but at least he's got 4 there in the back, plus 1 and 1 in the front. Only 2 Sunkens in the choke, but he's not going to need Sunkens in the choke because there's nothing coming in to attack the choke. Adding on more Stargates even, he's just going to go all out on the scouts. All out on the scout and reavers. There's 1 reaver on the bottom side with a shuttle. There's some Hydralisk in between. Hydralisk, no, the shuttle is coming because the scouts are killing Overlords on the bottom side, which of course cues in the fact that Kong is going to come in from the bottom side. Although now he's flying all the way. We found the hole. There's an Overlord there though, so he's going to snipe and see the shuttle. Shuttle gets cut out just a little bit, but stays alive with just a little bit of health. 2 more attacks from the Hydras and it would have gone down. So at least Kong doesn't lose his Reaver, but he does lose a lot of time here, because now JH gets, I think, another full minute. Another full minute of, I don't want to say safe building, because he's facing some very annoying scouts on the sides, killing his stuff. The scouts almost have level 1 attack upgrade, I think they do. In fact, level 1 armor is on the way. Some Scorch is coming in there to try to kill the scouts, but the scout micro is pretty on point. Almost kills all of the Scorches. The shuttle there in the backside does go down though to the Scorch, so he does achieve what he wanted to do. That is buy himself more time. But a lot of Scorches went down there too. Some pretty impressive scout control there from Kong. Honestly, quite impressed. If he can keep up that the micro and the control and the multitasking for a long period of time, he might set himself up for a pretty good shot there at a really beautiful Golden Armada play. The scouts and the reaver combination. But yeah, the micro there is pretty sweet. He's doing a really good job. This is actually quite impressive. The micro like that against Scorches with scouts. Scout speed, of course, helping out tremendously. But this Overlords spreading out to the sides, gonna go down very quick. JH has got his Hive on the way. His Greater Spire will soon be up on the way as well, because he really needs the Devourers against scouts to debuff and reduce their damage. But mostly to protect his Hive, because scouts on the Hive do pretty big damage. Like, the damage itself from the Dual Blaster isn't that high, but if you have a lot of them, they have a lot of HP. To 50 HP on those scouts, they take a long time to take down. And during that long time of having to take them down, the Dual Blasters on the scouts will take down your Hive. But he's mostly aiming to mix it up with some Reavers. There's 4 Reavers loaded up at the moment. Not a lot of Reavers. Not a lot of Reavers. Honestly, really not a lot of Reavers. He's got enough Hydralisks to fend this off, I'm sure. Though his Hydra count is at the moment still pretty low. There's about 24 on the bottom side. Another 12 or 24 now here on the top side of his base, in the middle of his base. Tries to go in there with the scouts to open up a hole, but there's strategically placed spores to make life more difficult for those scouts. Another spire there on the bottom side. Split them up. If one spire, that if Reavers are dropped here, he doesn't lose all of his spires. So basically split them up. It's a little bit inconvenient when you're getting the upgrades, but at least it stops all your attack from going down to mass Reavers when the Reavers are dropped on that location. More spores coming down, more hatcheries coming down as well. Kong is taking his time Okay, just once again supply block. Drop there comes in. There's scouts and reavers coming in there. Scouts are splitting up from the reavers. There's 6 reavers on the bottom side there. Ooh, yeah, 6 reavers in total. Gonna wreak some havoc. And most of the units there from JH have gone down. Scouts are protecting the reavers from above. Protecting the reavers from above. This is looking pretty damn sweet here from Kong. It might actually just work. But another mass group of overlords just spawned for JH, and he's got more hiders on the way to go for a surround on those reavers and scouts. He goes in, gets the surround, gets the spread. Is target firing the reavers and ignoring the scouts, but actually he might not get all of the reavers down. The scouts there do save the day because they are pretty darn beefy. Still there in the corner. More reavers on the way. They're back at home, flying over. Another surround there coming up on the reavers. Reavers gonna take them down. Scouts are assisting. One more reaver stays alive there on the bottom side. So yeah, now overlords coming in as well. And the overlords are gonna die. That was not intended by JH. That was an accident. Losing his overlords by accident, that is actually really, really huge. Because now he is supply blocked while he needs to produce units. That is actually very, very terrible for him to happen. Now Reavers coming in here as well. There's no lurkers on the low ground to kill the Reavers. There's some Sunkens there though, so he's going to attack, but the Reavers are unloaded right on top of Sunkens and Hydras, so they're going to go down. But now the Scouts are attacking the Hive. And there's no Sunken within range to kill this Reaver, so actually going to take a lot of damage there on the Hive, way more than he should. And JH might have just completely screwed up by killing his own overlords now. He's waiting for Hylas to spawn, but he's still pretty much supply blocked. This Reaver does go down, but his scouts are still hammering away on that Hive. Units are coming in to try to kill the scouts before the Hive goes down, but now the Hive is a very easy target for any follow-up attempts at that Hive's life. The Hive life ain't an easy life, and it ain't nice, but damn, this is a little bit too close for JH to the edge. A little bit too close to the edge. Scouts are still flying across the map, looking for things to kill. Shuttles are still alive, ready to pick up more Reavers from back at home. He's got about 8 of them there, ready to be picked up and flown over the map to finish JH's off. 300 HP on the Hive. This is a very bad situation. JH completely misplayed the situation extremely terribly as it can possibly be. This is the worst situation he can possibly be in. Once again, losing overlords there, and he's getting supply blocked into next week. Supply blocked into next week. JH screwed up massively. Massively. Not sure what he was trying to do. He could have just gone for a mass Hydralisk and defended this really easily, and then gone for a slightly slower Devourers, but he tried to do too many things at the same time in terms of his build order. He tried to get a little bit of everything. A little bit of defense, a little bit of tech, a little bit of army, a little bit of economy, but didn't really maximize anything. And I think that's coming back to haunt him. Because a little bit of everything doesn't really defend that well against anything. Reavers on the bottom side to distract Reavers on the top side there to really deal the massive big amounts of damage. There's 8 Reavers there unloaded. It was 10 Reavers even. And the Reavers take down everything within the blink of an eye. Scouts are also still alive. Reavers on the bottom side have done their job in taking some structures down. Some Devourers are coming in to take down the Scouts to debuff them. He's waiting for more Hylas to spawn, but he's kind of low in money as he only has about 43 drones in total and almost no gas either. Reavers are crawling closer. They're going to try to take down the Hive. Get some shots on the Hive. Yeah, the Hive is going to go down for sure, and now the game is looking even worse than before. JH is just perpetually unprepared, even though he had so much time to prepare with that big economy opening of his. He completely miscalculated some situations, and he's now paying the price. Even though this build order from Kong shouldn't be working this well, it is in fact working this well. It shouldn't, but it is. The Golden Armada of very expensive Protoss units is doing its work, and is doing it well. Scouts at the moment are currently on, I think, almost maxed out upgrades as level 2. Shield is on the way, level 3 armor and weapon. So 2, 1, 2 at the moment. Spores on the side, almost just tickling the Scouts there. Ooh, tries to take down the Overlord, but it stays alive, barely though. Now 62 drones, but the income is low because he's long distance mining here at the Hive. Well, the soon-to-be lair. It's still a hatchery at the moment. We got stasis on the way. A lot of upgrades here coming in from Kong. Pretty much everything that he could get, he's upgrading it. This time around, it's another 7 shuttles. That's going to be 14 Reavers, and 14 Reavers is going to be impossible to defend against for JH. Because he doesn't have much. He's got a 111 supply. He's almost broke. Like, his minerals are pretty much down in the gutter. A lot of creep colonies here on the bottom side, unmorphed. Focusing on defending his greatest spire, but the scouts are so tanky, they take it down without much trouble. Comes in with another drop there in the bottom corner. That's 14 reavers, I think. Alright, it's 10 reavers, not quite 14. There's no detection here on the bottom side, so the lurkers might actually keep those reavers contained there inside the box. But all they have to do is wait for an observer, and the lurkers go down. The lurkers cannot unburrow and walk up, because then they get taken down as well. Now he just has to wait for his mass to... That's supported by an observer, which is on the way, in fact. It is, in fact, on the way. Also, more reavers being picked up, and Templars being thrown into the mix as well. And you got 2 arbiters also being warped in. He tried to get some lurkers burrowed up next to the reavers, but that is to no avail. As the observer arrives, and the arbiter arrives as well, and that is going to be the GG from JH for sure, without a doubt, because he's as broke as can be, and facing an army that is simply way too strong to fight into. And that's game number 3. Kong wins it convincingly. Although mostly due to JH making big mistakes in his optimization with his build order. And of course, if you make such big mistakes, you are going to pay the price. You're going to pay the price. So, unlike what I said at the start, JH couldn't manage to really get rolling. But now JH is planning on giving Kong a piece of his own cake. As the matchup returns to Protoss against Zerg, with JH on the Protoss and Kong on the Zerg. Let's see what we're up against. Alright, he's on the bottom middle of the map, the 6 o'clock spawn location. Let's see what the colors are. Blue against blue. Well, not too bad. That's actually manageable. Though it's hard to read there on the top corner. Now you can read the name, now you can't. So let's do it like this. So yeah, we've got Vacuum, Kong on the Zerg on the top left of the map. Against JH on the bottom middle as the Protoss. What is JH specifically going to do, and what is Kong going to do? Maybe Kong has some very crazy, insane build orders as Zerg that might catch JH completely off guard. He goes for a non-choke build order, starts with 2 hatcheries at the same time. That's very, very greedy. But it is something you can most of the time afford to do if you are a corner Zerg against the Protoss. It's going to be a tight, close race though. Tight, close race, but maybe this might be the one. Maybe this is going to be the one where it all works. JH there starts off with 3 gateways. I kind of like this, and I kind of don't like this against a Zerg. Because if you don't really achieve much with the gateways, you're a little bit slowed down. Plus the gateways are inside the base, not on the middle. Because according to the rules of this tournament by Hamburger, you are not allowed to build on the middle if you are Protoss. Was building them inside of his base, but the traveling distance from the middle to an enemy base is like almost 20 seconds shorter if you start here back at home. Maybe 14 seconds or 15 seconds, but at least the traveling distance is quite increased. It's quite an increase. But he's diligently scouting the map. 2 overlords are up on the hills so he can see enemies moving in, although this bottom corner there is uncovered, but at least you can see it with this overlord. I would place this overlord here so we can see more here in the front. But the probe gets spotted out by the overlord. There's now 4 hatches there in the back, no gas yet. He's really droning up hard. Creep colony there on the way. Double gas coming out from JH here, back at home. And a cybercore as well. He's going for a low economy, all-in Gateway Army. Gateway Army it is. Gets on the drone. Drone goes. Kaboom. Tries to get a second one. Gets a second one. Might get a third one. So there's a long path around for the Zealot to get on top. But yeah, the Zealot gets on top because another one is getting attacked. So, ooh, is he gonna get the kill? He gets the kill. 3 kills there for the Zealots. Doesn't get number 4 though, but at least he got 3 drones. It is something. It did cost him 3 Zealots as well, maybe 4. Actually, it cost him 4. 4 Zealots do go down, but he got more on the way to keep up the assault. But Kong now on 19 drones. No Hydras yet though, no Zerglings yet either, because the Zerglings did go down. But he's got 3 Sunkers in the back to protect himself from the harm. More units on the way there from JH. He's got a robotics on the way as well, very early on. Double robotics actually. Double robo. Very early double robo, but that might just be what he needs to put the pressure up on Kong. Kong has Zerg speed not on the way, but is investing a lot in Zerglings. He's got Evolution Chamber there placed to block access to his Sunken, so he can block up the small little pathways there with his Zerglings. But nothing too serious yet. They're on the way. He's going for fast lurkers, without a doubt. I'm not a fan of the fast lurkers on a chokeless build order, because I honestly believe you need Hydralisks more than you need lurkers. At least that is what I see players like Hamburger, Rabbit, Brain, and all those others do when they go for a non-choke Zerg build order. They go for Hydralisks, but Kong is a believer of the lurker. But I do think it is weaker because it's more expensive. Plus, lurkers are not very mobile. You burrow them up, and they have to stay burrowed to attack. With Hydras, you get micro. There's more diversity in the Hydralisk than there is in the lurker. He does have a den there on the way, and the den is making Hydralisk speed. So maybe he's not going for lurkers at all. Maybe he's just getting an early lair for the purposes of getting advanced technology when he needs it. I did see him go for lurkers once, and it didn't work out all that well. It was a disaster. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is going for Hydralisks indeed. And we do have Hydralisks on the way. The one Carapace also on the way. He's not getting attacked. He's getting Carapace first. Got Shuttle Speed on the way back at home. Ooh, he got onto a probe. Killed a probe there. Nice job. 32 drones against 29 probes now. Reavers are finishing up in the back, ready to be flown across the map to attack before Kong gets too many units to fight with. He's on 31 drones. He's got a drone lead, but that probe leak is going to happen soon as Kong is still making workers, and I don't think JH is going to make many more. He's now on 33 though. A couple more did come out. They're mostly focusing on making Hydras now. He has to just all in on making Hydralisks and Overlords. He only has 2 Overlords on the way. There's 1 Lurker on the way as well. Or wait, Lurker S-Pact is on the way. So he is getting speed into Lurkers. He's not getting a range for his Hydras. Not sure if I agree, because now it's going to be very difficult to snipe the Reavers in the back there, but he just sniped the Reaver, and it gets Reaver the Shuttle as well, but Reaver number 2 stays alive. The Zealots now have the Zealot speed as well, but 1 attack also not finished. He's not getting level 1 attack at all. He doesn't even have a Forge yet. He's still there on the way back home. He's getting a second Nexus about 7 minutes into the game. So Zerg is going to try to go for a sneak attack on the Probe because there's no cannons in the back, and he knows. So Zerg is now coming in, going to get some snacking done. Going to try to kill Probes. He's going to go for the Zealot first to at least keep those Zerglings alive. Goes up onto the Probes with more Zealots arriving here back at home to stop the Zerglings from killing the Probes. Also going for an attack at the same time. Zealots are going for the attack, going to try to get on top of the Hydra. The Hydra gets micro behind the hatches, but got a shuttle drop there on the way with a Reaver inside. Is he going to get some drone kills? Drones are running away to the wrong side there, though, and actually he runs them into each other as the Reaver Skirt hits, so he kills more drones than he should have. 19 drones left alive. Kong in a pretty bad shape here as the Reavers keep shooting on the drones from afar. Going to crawl up a little bit closer to get more drones as the Zealots are tanking the Sunkens. He's going to get more drones. We're running away just in time, but a couple, yeah, that's a pretty big hit there still. He got almost no probes there back at home, so most of the Zealots that were pulled back did kill the Zerglings pretty quick, and Kong is in absolute terrible shape. Tries to snipe the shuttle there, but no, not going to happen. Tries to micro and still deal as much damage as he can, but Shuttle and Reaver stay alive. Now going back for another hit there on the drones, but this time around the Reaver might know. Reaver stays alive. The control here is insane from JH. I've never seen JH control himself this well. This is really well played. Kills even more drones, and that is actually... The game is over here. The game is done. This is just over. Kong is going to keep trying, though, with his 9 drones, heroically still mining minerals, trying to get food on the table for the Zerg family. But now I don't think that is going to really happen. I really like this build order from JH here. It's very specifically catered to what Kong is doing. Very specifically a counter to what Kong is doing. So Reaver Shuttle there, flying on the bottom side, ready to go in, ready to attack and snack up some drones. Rear Hydras are going around the Zealots to try and snipe the shuttle, but JH responds quickly, picks it up, keeps the shuttle alive, tries to go in once again. Reaver there, still alive. The shuttle is going. Oh, he has to make a choice, Reaver or shuttle. He goes for the Reaver, but the Reaver does kill most of the Hydras before the Hydras can kill the Reaver. Tries to go in once again. One lurker there on the scene. The lurker is gonna tickle, or just pretty much tickle. Scarab does not explode, but the second Scarab there on the way kills a couple drones. Now drones are running away, but more drones are spawning at the same time as well. Lurker throws up next to the Reaver. Reaver might go. Reaver gets picked up once again. He has to stay alive. Zealot are killing the Sun Guns in the back. Reaver is doing what it can to kill the drones. Oh, this is looking pretty sweet here from JH. Pretty sweet stuff. Both of the Sun Guns stay alive, and Kong just leaves the game because, yeah, he realizes that game is over. It's over. It's done. So JH now gets a win of his own and even ups the score to 2-2. A single win for both players. And that's it for today. That's part number 2. Tomorrow we're going to get part number 3, where we're going to see who is going to be the victor in his best of 7 extravaganza finals between JH and Kong. Hope you enjoyed this match. A little bit one-sided in the end for the Protoss, but you know, the first game was closer, but you know, misplayed. The second game was close, but well, not that close. It was just massively misplayed. Kong has some alternative ideas that I don't agree with. Goodbye.